This is a hexapod. This is also a hexapod. This is also a hexapod. This is a hexapod on top of a hexapod. This is a hexapod on top of a hexapod on top of a hexapod. This is a hexapod suspended over a hex of hexapods. What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today with more Scrap Mechanic, and today we're looking at another awesome vanilla build, and that is, of course, this awesome hexapod walking ship. Now, I did a vanilla build a little while ago that was a survival sort of flying ship, and the problem with that, which a lot of you pointed out, was if there's fuel in survival mode, having a big ship stay afloat in midair is probably going to take a lot of fuel, and that's going to be a real pain. But this awesome walking ship only uses some logic and a bunch of controllers, so it's definitely a slower way of moving around, but a lot cooler. For some reason, there's just something about walking creations that really I enjoy so much, and hexapods are really, really cool because they always have 3 legs in contact with the ground, so they're inherently very, very stable, which makes them really suitable for a walking base. And we'll just kind of, you can see we can just walk around on here. This is really just a very simple walking ship sort of platform, and I absolutely love it. We can go down here inside, and we'll very slowly, you can see we crawl forward. At the end of the episode, what we'll do is we'll blueprint edit this, and we'll see if we can speed up all these controllers and make it a whole heck of a lot faster. But you can see it just runs on a really simple timing logic system. Yeah. You'll see it's walking by itself, but we can, of course, control that. It's the stairs are kind of weird sometimes. But it's all done on just some simple switches. So we've got forward, back, left, and right. Of course, you can get in the seat and control them. And again, this is all done in vanilla. There's no mods on this. So again, another great build for when survival mode comes out. Be able to spawn this in. Probably actually have to build it, but that's okay. And then we'll be able to mount all sorts of survival stuff to it. And you can see it doesn't kill the frame rate at all. I mean, it kind of does when we had, you know, 6 other hexapods below it. But on its own and with a few creations welded to it, it's not going to be that big a deal. And I love the way it walks. We're going to, of course, speed it up. This is as fast as it can go on default controllers. I don't know what I was going for. I mean, it's got these cool windows underneath. I figure in survival, if you've got crafting or stuff, you can put that below deck. And then have crane or something above deck. But you can see each leg's got these suspension pieces in it, and that just helps when you're walking over uneven ground. The legs kind of, you know, get more contact points. I think it looks kind of like a chameleon, although they have 4 legs, not 6. But the way it walks, it kind of looks like that. But you can see the legs are actually a really simple mechanism. So each leg is actually just 2 controllers, and it makes for really easy walking. And with a hexapod, you only need to worry about 2 controllers if you sequence it properly. So one controller lifts the leg up and down, and the other controller moves the leg forward and backwards. And depending on how you sequence them, you can make it go left, right, forward, and back, as long as they're in sync with each other. So you can see the left legs and the right legs are always in sync. It's really cool. It moves so slow, you can just kind of walk around and, okay, or not. But yeah, you can walk around, do all the things you need to do, and we'll just get back up into the bridge. So if we turn it to the left, that's 3. So if we turn it to the left, you can see it'll still do the same motions, except now the front and back on this left side are reversed. So it's actually pushing these left legs backwards, but it's still pushing the right legs forward in the same sequence. So when there's 2 legs on the right side down, there's 1 leg on the left down, and vice versa, and it's still, you know, it moves like a tank, basically. You can't hold 2 buttons at the same time. If you do, it just shuts off because it's really slow. And so we can just hold left, and then, of course, we can go in reverse, and they both, you know, sequence in reverse. And, you know, let's just go forward, maybe walk. Let's turn right a little bit. Just one more little stroke right here. All right, that's good. And then let's just go straight here. Now, you don't have to worry about screwing up the thing. The cool thing about the way this logic works is it all runs on this one internal clock. So it's a 6-step process in terms of how they walk. So each leg kind of goes through, I think, 2 idle steps, 2 steps where one's up, one's down, and then 2 steps where you move forward and back. And it takes a little bit to get the sequence, but it's really not that bad. And we just kind of pass those signals to the OR gates. We just use a line of AND gates to determine what control you're doing. So each side has a forward and back. And, you know, this is the forward line of AND gates, the back line of AND gates. You know how it is, you know, and then you hook up left, right, forward, back, to some OR gates with some NOT gates. I mean, it's not that hard to do this stuff, especially because this timer just kind of constantly runs. So this timer runs as soon as you start the creation, and then of course we can hold this switch to reset the timer. I probably shouldn't have done that while I was walking. It's fine. And then if we hold that switch, it resets the timer to 0. So in case the timer gets screwed up for whatever reason, you can just hold that. It resets the whole thing, and we're good to go. We're back to walking. So it's a really, really simple system. It's very hard to screw up. And like I said, this only uses a couple controllers per leg. So the cool thing about this is that we only have like, what, 12 controllers? And if the game has power as a requirement in survival, this is a great walking mobile base. You can put all your stuff in here. It's not a fast way of traveling, so obviously you'd have to defend it, but at least you can move all your stuff along. You've got lots of space for activities, and of course, with only 12 controllers, I'm assuming that's not gonna take a lot of power. I don't really know how they're gonna handle that. So we're just gonna go down some rough terrain here, and then we're gonna jack up the speed. I just want to show you guys, I know it's a very, like, we've been talking this whole time and we've only really moved from like over there. Again, survival mode is going to be an experience. I can't wait. It's going to be an hour-long gameplay, but we're moving our whole base. We can have like 6 of these. Everyone has their own little walker, and you know, you just have all your stuff. It's sweet. It's like a ship. I left it very, very bare bones, mainly because this took way too long to build, and I got lazy by the time I was finished it. And of course, because I wanted to, you know, leave all that space for the survival goodness. I feel like you'll just pile boxes and stuff up top, maybe put more of a canopy on it. And you can add a ton of weight to this thing, and the legs are still good. They're 2 bearings to lift, and of course, there's 6 legs, so they kind of do their job. But you can see we're going to go down this slope here, and it might kind of wobble a little bit, but overall, it shouldn't be too bad. We did close up the back, right? I think so. Yeah, the back's closed. That's good. You don't want that getting caught on stuff. I'm just geeking out, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I like walkers in this game, and I love hexapods because the logic for a hexapod is so easy. Like, I know it seems like a lot, but it's really not. It's just a series of gates, and each signal just kind of passes. The hard part is really just figuring out the kind of the order that things have to go in. But each one of these pairs is just, you know, paired to a leg, and it's all really, really simple stuff, just repeated a bunch of times. All right, I feel like we're gonna make it up this, and then once we make it up there, we'll speed this whole thing up. We'll go 10 times with some blueprint editing. Blueprint editing you could do in survival mode. You're kind of glitching the game. You're not really using a mod, but at the same point in time, you're kind of changing the default parameters of the part. So with blueprint editing controllers, what you do is you change the speed at which each controller completes a step. So the fastest speed a controller moves at by default is, I believe, 1 second per step, per, like, you know, sequence of the controller or whatever. And because we have 6 steps, we have a 6-second walking time, if that's what you want to call it. But with blueprint editing, we could change that to be basically whatever fraction of it we want. So we could make it so it moves 10 times as fast. Let's see if we can turn here. No, that's not there. 3 turns left. And we'll just kind of, come here, turn, buddy. There we go, perfect. It doesn't really like going up hills sideways. You can see it's kind of slipping now a little bit. Should be able to climb this hill. It might just slip though. Yeah, it is sliding. This hill might be too steep. Maybe we need to put some tires on the bottom of this. It's not getting enough grip. You know what? Let's just blueprint edit it, and I feel like if we blueprint edit it, it's definitely going to make it up the hill. Every blueprint in Scrap Mechanic consists of a few different files, and one of them is this ugly looking text file, but really it just stores a bunch of data, and I think it's actually all the part configurations and how they're all linked and everything else. But in this file, you can change whatever you want, and it'll cause weird things if you don't know what you're doing. Now, what you can do is you can take the controller setting and you can change it to be faster than what it is. So we've changed the controller settings in this one now to be time per frame 0.1 rather than 1.0. So the fastest controller speed for the legs is 1 second. We've now made them 10 times faster than that. So if we get back in here, we should have faster walking. Now, we haven't changed the internal clock yet, which means the legs are going to move quick, but the sequence itself is still going to be kind of slow. So you should see they move kind of quick, but you can see there's a lot of waiting time, right? So they're moving, they're flopping quick, but they're too slow. So now we just need to speed up the entire clock as well. And once we've done that, hopefully we should have a faster thing. Now, we've done time per frame from 1 to 10. So let's turn off the clock. And if we change, this is the amount of time. So we got to change this to be 1/10 the time. So 0.1. And all these, same thing, 0.1. This is a really easy clock to make because the timers themselves kind of act as the additional time and they just pass through an AND gate. I mean, technically there's like an extra tick in there that's caused by the AND gate, but we're not gonna talk about that. All right, so here we go, 0.1. So that's the clock now. And I mean, this should work, right? So let's see if we've got some faster walking here. Here we go, and let's go forward. All right. It does a little dance. Okay. All right, I think part of the problem there is we were on the sloped ground there. It already couldn't get up the slope. We need to put some tires underneath the feet, I think. That'll help. Like the rubber on the tires will help grip it. So we could try that. It'll be better. Because right now it's just sitting on pegs. Try it on flat ground. This should be a lot better. It's still... Okay, the controller might be... Maybe we need to slow down the sequence a little bit. It's just not getting enough time to swing it back and forth. It looks like that's the problem. All right, I've changed it from 0.1 to 0.2. So the controller is still at 0.1. I feel like this could be better. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Now it's quicker, but you can still, it's still kind of doing the full strides. It seems like the controllers are almost like floppier at higher speeds. At the slower speeds, they're more methodical. It plants each leg. You know, let's try putting rubber feet on this real quick, actually, and see if maybe that makes the difference. All right, that looks pretty beefy. Let's see what happens here. No, see, the tires just get caught. It definitely looks floppier. And can we even rotate? Actually, that's a good point. Let's try turning to the left. Oh yeah, okay, it can still rotate. You know, it's definitely floppier. I'm gonna upload the vanilla version to the workshop, the unblueprint edited version, but maybe there's another setting in the controller for strength or something, but it's definitely floppier when you put them at higher speeds. The legs just seem so much weaker now. I don't even know, like the legs are moving more, but I don't really know if we're actually going that much faster than we did before. But I'll definitely upload the slower version of the workshop. You guys can check it out. Let me know what you think. I mean, it's not much of an off-roader, but I think in terms of survival bases, this thing is really gonna be quite awesome because you're just gonna be able to park it wherever you want and of course have a lot of stuff on it. And the slower version, it definitely can handle a lot more weight. As soon as you speed up the controllers, they start to do weird things and they definitely don't really do what they're supposed to do. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and while you're at it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.